people saying they want a $35 silk press. Rent was $800 for a 3-bedroom back in the day. Hey guys, it's your girl Lachey Ash, also known as the Hair Magician, and today we got some spice for you. Today's topic is simply on unpopular opinions in the hair industry. Now, I've been thinking about this topic for quite some time, and I just was looking for the right time to discuss what I have experienced and what I deem unpopular opinions and what I deem professional and unprofessional that some of you guys may not agree with. So feel free to comment and let me know, how you feel about some of my statements, and don't forget to subscribe as well, okay? So buckle your seatbelts because it's going to be a bumpy ride, baby. Number one unpopular opinion: I do not think canceling is unprofessional. The reason why I say that is because hairstylists are humans. Humans have families. Humans have lives. Humans have car issues. Humans have mental health issues. And so the morning of the experience with your guests and you realize that you possibly woke up on the wrong side of the bed or something just happened, life just started lifing, it is 100% okay to cancel on your client. What I feel like is unprofessional is simply not showing up. Having your guests come all the way to the salon, come all the way to the barbershop, and the beauty professional is just nowhere to be found. They haven't communicated with you. They haven't, said, hey, I'm running late, or hey, I'm just not coming. That is the most unprofessional thing. Now, I know a lot of you guys deem that unprofessional because of the penalty that a lot of stylists put on the client when they don't show up. I do feel like all stylists need to have a client-stylist policy, meaning their client policy needs to mirror their stylist policy. Their stylist policy needs to mirror their client policy. But we're all human. So in the event that a stylist has to cancel, it doesn't necessarily have to be understood, but it needs to be respected. And the uncomfortable truth, she doesn't have to tell you why she's canceling. It's none of the client's business why the stylist is canceling, just like it's none of the stylist's business why the client is canceling. Again, lives, and we just might wake up that morning and realize that the money is not money in the way it was money in the day before, or just anything, So again, that's one of my unpopular opinions. A lot of people will not agree with me on that, but that's just life. People cancel. Things do happen. I feel like more clients have to start speaking up and saying, if I do choose to reschedule this experience, will I be compensated? Or how will the compensation come into play for me? How am I protected as the client? I don't agree with stylists keeping, deposits, sitting fees, retainer fees when they cancel on the guests. I do think that is an automatic refund. And I don't even think that's an unpopular opinion. I think the world will agree with me on that. But I do see stylists, keeping sitting fees, retainer fees, deposits when they cancel out on guests. I don't agree with that, not one bit. So I do encourage more clients to speak up when they aren't fully compensated for the inconvenience of the stylist canceling, because it is inconvenient, but it's not unprofessional. Unprofessional, just for me, is not the word. Being that I mentioned that, I just want to segue this in. Compassion, empathy, sympathy, those things really don't go with business hand in hand. And the reason why I say that is because I think that when people have a major life issue and they have an appointment, they expect some type of leniency or exception when it comes down to the policies that the stylists implement. And unfortunately, if life is life for you, causing you not to have to show up to your appointment, that doesn't change that rent is due for me or my car note is due for me, and vice versa. If life is life for me and I have to cancel on you and you have a major function, a wedding, graduation, birthday, I don't expect for you to show me compassion or empathy or sympathy or anything. I just expect you to expect compensation, my sincere apology, and I expect you to come and not deem me as unprofessional because life happened for me. And vice versa. I'm not going to, say that you don't have client etiquette or run the social media and blast you because life happened for you. Now, granted, some people do falsify stories so that they can get out of the hair appointments with, with leniency and become an exception. But that doesn't work for everybody, and some hairstylists still hold their ground when it comes down to their policies. Good for them and good for the stylists. Shout out to the stylists that don't, who do give you an exception, and shout out to the clients who request compensation, at their next experience. Number 2 of my unpopular opinions, aside of what most stylists think, clients do not have to take a picture. They do not have to give you content. They can say no. I see some stylists have booking websites that, state that you're gonna have to take a picture, or requiring a client to wear a certain color so that they can get their content. And I just don't think that is that's fair. I'm coming to my appointment for relaxation. I'm coming to my appointment for an experience. I'm a woman. I like to take care of myself, and sometimes I don't want the camera in my face. So to those stylists who are looking for a phrase or just some verbiage to ask the guest about getting in front of the camera, just ask them, are you camera friendly? Are you camera friendly today? And I think at that point they kind of know what that is, and if they don't, explain it to them, but just don't throw the camera in their face, especially if you do not ask, because I just think that's weird. Yes, it's unfortunate because you just did a bomb slay, but even then, if they say they're not camera ready, respect their no. Some people may be on the run. They may have called out of work for their hair appointment. Heck, they may just be trying to be low-key for whatever reason, or they just may not want to. So again, understand that everybody doesn't have to say yes and go on your social media, and respect their no. Don't make them feel bad for not wanting to give you the content. Number 3 of my unpopular opinions, I don't think that just because you're a regular, you should get free things, discounts, exceptions, XYZ. Now, that is very controversial because I know some people ride or die for their regulars, as do I. My regulars will tell you I don't play about them. But at the same time, I have been scarred by my regulars more than I've been scarred by new clients or just returning clients. It's a big difference for me in my chair between returning and regular, and we'll go over that in another video. But I feel like when a regular is late, it is up to you to take them past your grace period. It is up to you to not charge them a late fee. If they cancel, and within the policy, it is up to you to not charge them, or just follow the instructions that your policy said you're going to follow. And the reason why I said it is because, again, we never want somebody to get comfortable with breaking the rules, or we never want somebody to get comfortable with, I'm a regular, it's okay, I can do these things, I'm past those points. Because bottom line, yes, I love you, you keep these bills paid, you support me, but this is still a business. Okay, this is still a business, and I'm never going to get comfortable with you. You're never going to want me to get comfortable with you. You're never going to want me to say, hey, boo, I got somebody else coming, I'm going to push you back. Or, hey, boo, I don't feel like coming to work today. Can I, reschedule you? Or, hey, boo, I'm going to be 30 minutes late because you have to go to work. Like, you're never going to want me to do that to you. So I always expect the same in return by just keeping it business, and like I said, if you choose to grant leniency and to have grace with your regulars, that's because you choose to. But I don't think it is fair to assume that you're going to be able to come past your stylist grace period because you're a regular. You're going to be able to, bend the rules because you're a regular. I don't think that's fair to the business. I don't think that's fair to you as a guest, and I don't think that's fair to the stylist. Number 4 of my unpopular opinions, I personally think that booking websites have advanced and enhanced the industry. Now, I feel like that is an unpopular opinion because I hear on a day-to-day basis how a lot of clients don't like booking online. They don't like paying sitting fees, deposits online. And stylists, they want to be able to screen the client before you sit in their chair. They want to be able to talk to you, get your vibe before you, sit in their chair. So they don't have online booking, because with online booking, anybody can just book. And the reason why I feel like that is a downfall is because, let's just use me for example. I service up to 13 to 15 people a day. Just imagine if I had to stop every time somebody wanted to book a hair appointment. I get people booking every time of the day, night, morning, any time of the day, because my platform is 24 hours, so they get to book anytime. So just imagine if I had to stop, and I have a very strict system, a time system. So just imagine if I had to stop every time somebody wanted to book an appointment. And then they have questions, and then they have just so many things that require me to take that time away from my client who's paying hourly to give to them because they have so many questions and I have to book them. And I know some may say, you know, we'll get an assistant. Yes, an assistant is cool, but instead of me paying my assistant, I can just pay Acuity, I can just pay StyleSeat, I could just pay Gloss Genius, any booking website to do those things for me. Now, a client is always going to have questions, but that's why as the professional, you have to make sure that your booking sites are extremely thorough. Very thorough to the point that they feel safe to book, they feel safe to come, they feel like their money is going to be well spent. When you book a appointment with me, the experience starts there. I don't have slang in my booking website. I don't have crazy verbiage. It's my personality through literature. You know, so I encourage you guys to do the same, because the experience with you starts at your booking website, okay? And I'm not sure about you, but sometimes a lot of questions can kind of give me a tornado brain. So I need things like that to help me delegate and to help me be more successful in my business, because we're already talking to our clients day in and day out, unless they request a silent appointment. Just imagine you having to answer phones too. So that is a lot. So again, I personally feel that booking websites have advanced and enhanced the industry. I don't think it has been in a demise. The only demise I see it being in is for the stylists who are given scam. That is the only demise I see it giving. You know, the stylists who they're not detailed on their booking website. Like, you have to call them and say, sis, I see that you have this Swedish quick weave up here, but what is a Swedish quick weave? Like, what's the difference between a Swedish quick weave and a regular quick weave? So being very detailed eliminates those things. So again, that's just my opinion. Now this one is gonna definitely ruffle some feathers, okay? Old school stylists have created the road, the platform, paved the way for a lot of the new standards that new school stylists have. Now, I said that in a salon that's, you know, full of older stylists, and they crucified me. They was like, oh no, these new school stylists, they different. And mind you, I just stated that. I did not go into detail of what I meant or why I said what I said. But again, once I broke it down, they started to agree. The reason why I say that is because back in the day, stylists were very overworked. Stylists were overworked because they were underpaid. Stylists were overworked because they didn't have the resources or the tools to be able to have PTO. They didn't have the resources or the tools to be able to have maternity leaves, savings, retirements. And I feel like a lot of the reason why the new school stylist is crucified is because we listened to the vet stylist, and we said, and we saw what we didn't want to be like. We didn't want to be overworked and underpaid, okay? We didn't want to feel like we were doing what we love, but on our way to a burnout because we're satisfying everybody but ourselves. Keep in mind that even back in the day, they complained about being in a salon all day. So that's when things like booking websites were created, so that we could set up success a lot differently and not double book. Now, I do know clients, stylists that do double book with booking websites, but that's just one complication that I've heard people say. But I've also heard people complain about stylists niching down. There's no expert stylists anymore. And the reality of it is, back in the day, our hair ancestors, what I like to call them, they had to do a lot of services because they had to make the money. Compared to now, people are able to say, I'm not going to do something that I'm not, certain in. I'm not going to do something that I am not perfect in. So I would rather send you over to this person who braids, and I'd rather send you over to this person that does a bomb silk press. You just come to me for the natural updos of the natural styles. And I think that's pretty fair. When you go to a restaurant and they have a big menu, you're like, okay, what are you guys good at? Because you guys have so much to choose from. I know everything can't be good. So what's your specialty? I've heard people say these new school stylists don't offer any services. They can't do real hair. When the reality of it is, back in the day, they had to offer all of those services. They couldn't afford to niche down. And truth be told, I mean, when you go to a restaurant that has a big menu, I'm not sure about you, but I get overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, so what do you specialize in? Because this menu is so big, and I know all of this food can't be good. Something's gonna be nasty, and I want to refrain from ordering the nasty items. So what do you guys specialize in? And to me, thinking about it, when you have a child, you send your child to a pediatrician. When you're having heart issues, you go to a cardiologist. When you're having feet issues, you go to a podiatrist. When you're having women issues, you go to a gynecologist. So there's nothing wrong with hairstylists niching down as well. I think that still makes us experts, if not even smarter. That way we can continue to enhance our craft specifically in that area so that we can better service you guys. And truth be told, I really feel like a lot of people compare us to the old school stylists, because the old school stylists, again, were very overworked. They didn't mind you coming in and you booked for a short haircut and then you said, no, I want a sew-in. Not realizing that sew-in is going to take 3 hours, and now you're 3 hours behind on your next guest. So we listen, but now that most professional stylists have implemented, those systems, because we listen, here comes the comments, and here comes the, just the criticism, and not realizing that the professionals, now this statement is not for every stylist, because again, there are some scammy hairstylists, shame on you, but I'm talking about the professionals. We heard those things. So we said, okay, well, to better service our ideal client, let me switch it up a bit. Let me take it up a notch. And again, my system is catered to my ideal client. And we can go over systemizing and goals, a little more in another video. But again, these old school stylists really paved the way and set the standard for why the new school stylists move the way they do. They may not realize it when they first hear the statement, but once you break it down, they did. And shoot, I know a lot of new school stylists that wish they operated like I know a lot of old school stylists that wish they operated like the new school stylists. But again, times were different back in the day, even down to people saying they want a $35 silk press. Rent was $800 for a 3-bedroom back in the day. It's no longer that anymore, sis. So yes, we are charging a lot more. Yes, we are charging for our lifestyle, but we're allowed to. And speaking of charging for our lifestyle, I see that comment a lot, and I just want to say this. When you go get a job, when you go apply at a job, you ask them, how much are you guys paying? And if they're paying what what catches your ear, what you do is you go add up your bills at home, and you add up all the miscellaneous things, and you then start to do your hours based off of the wage that the company told you they were paying. If that doesn't equate to the amount of money that you need to make to survive in that month, guess what you're going to do? You're going to either negotiate that wage to get a higher wage, or you're going to move on to the next job that says we can pay you what you want, what you're worth, or what you desire, or whatever. So I don't think that that's not fair for hairstylists to do, because when we calculate our overhead, we have to make sure that we're surviving. Now, if that means that I am including, and this is an unpopular opinion as well, if that means that I'm including the YSL bag that I want, or my dream car, or my dream house, that's what that means. I'm going to do it because everybody else does it. I can't do that because I didn't go to school and get a degree. I got a trade. So I'm allowed to do that as well. So just think about that next time you say, I'm not paying for your lifestyle. That's like telling the job that you're applying to, that's just not fair. That's just not fair. However you look at it. Again, I can see how you guys want to apply that to the scammy stylists, but I'm talking about the professionals here. I'm not talking about the scams. Not talking about the scams. Last unpopular opinion, definitely not least, but last for today's video. It is okay for you to have an ideal client. Some people think that is really shallow. Some people think money is money. If they willing to spend it with me, I'm willing to take it from them. And I do not agree with that at all. At all. Keep in mind, some of the things that help you attract your ideal clientele is your prices, your work on social media, your demeanor, your vibe, your energy, your person, your personality. Those things really play hand in hand on what you attract, you know. So I try to do my best to walk and act and talk like the client that I want to attract, and even go to certain places where my ideal client is going to be at. I have what most would say more on the higher scale pricing. So of course I'm looking for a more higher scale clientele, someone who's willing to come and pay my prices without, you know, complaining. Someone who understands that when you come, you're going to get an experience. Someone who likes that, you know, someone who likes the luxury of being a black woman and getting exactly what it is that you deserve. Those things mean a lot to the average hard-working woman. You know, sometimes clients don't want to go to a place where you're going to play music with profanity. If they're going to go and people are in there are being loud and rude and disrespectful. You know, they want to be in a place that is safe, that's calm, that's sexy, you know, that's warming, cozy. And because that is the type of client that I want to attract, I make sure that I set that standard with my booking website, with the things that I say and post on social media, you know, the way I show up when I'm attracting those ideal clients. So again, if you keep attracting dusties, it might be some time for you to, you know, might be time for you to sweep some dust off your own porch, okay? Because you are the client that you attract. Always keep that in mind. Who you are is going to be the client that you attract. And not in all cases, but in most cases. If you're consistently putting out premium quality, then expect a premium turnaround. If you're consistently putting out bottom barrel quality, expect a bottom barrel turnaround. Again, that does not mean, I'm not trying to be shallow or mean, but this is just really what business is. Just think about the major brands. Just think about Gucci or think about Balenciaga. You know, are you Bentley or are you Toyotas? Nothing wrong with Toyota at all. I've had a Toyota before. You know, I've had a Camry. However, when you are thinking about your business and where you want it to get to, the magnitude that you want your business to grow to, consider those things. You're going to hurt somebody else's feelings. You're going to hurt somebody's feelings, but I would rather you do that than you hurt your own, okay? I hope you guys like this video. Please make sure you subscribe. Comment below. Let me know what you feel about my unpopular opinions. Let me know if you have an unpopular opinion. Listen, again, I said last and definitely not least, okay? So we might roll this back with the part 2 with unpopular opinions. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for your support. I will see you in my next video.